Hello and welcome to Maqam Lessons. This is the lesson for Jins Saba. So let's just jump right in. Repeat after me. I'm going to do each phrase twice, and you should sing along with my repeat of each phrase. So listen one time, repeat the second time, and definitely do it with your voice first before you try it on any kind of instrument. This is better the more times you do it with your voice, the more you'll get it into your ear, the more you'll start to embody the melodies, and that'll make it so much easier for you when you go to pick up your instrument. And then you're going to want to do it several times there as well. Repetition is the key. This is practice after all. Okay, so repeat after me. Yelin, 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 yeah. I just tried to slow down a phrase, which I would normally do more like yeah, 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 lil, yeah. You're starting to get in the mood of this, Jins. Yeah, lil, yeah, lil, yeah, lil, yeah, lil. Let me break that one down into two halves. Yeah, yeah, lil, lil. Now let's put them together. Yeah, lil, yeah, lil, yelling, 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 yelling. You know, a point here about muscle memory, right? I'm doing the same melody with my voice and with my violin, right? Or I'm trying to do the same melody. But the way that I produce the physical delivery of the melody is totally different, right? I'm using vocal cords here, and I'm using fingers, and I'm, right? Yeah, that little, I have to do it from somewhere in my tummy, using my breath. Whereas on the hand, I'm doing, and then I'm reaching there and doing, so a little. So two totally different ways of producing. Let me see how well I can do them together. Why don't you try with me, with either your voice, your instrument, maybe you have an oud with you. Yeah, yeah. Now let's try to add a little bit of the emotion, the mood of this Jins. Yeah. So think about that as you're doing this. Now, pay attention to your breath. Are you breathing all the way down into your butt? Yeah. Can you feel me if I'm breathing all the way down or not? Do you feel the emotion? Are you linking up your muscle memory? Right? I'm distracting you a little bit with multiple layers. But the multiple layers conversation is very important, because everything we're doing in music is about mapping one domain to another. I have to be able to do the melody on my voice. I have to be able to do it in the violin. I have to be able to do it whether or not I'm paying attention to my breath. I have to be able to add emotion or take it away. So that requires what people would call in cognition chunking. You have to know these melodies. It's not just a sequence of notes. You have to get it into your muscle memory. You have to practice. Yeah, right? As one element that you're physically embodying. And then I practice it here. All the while, I'm trying to stay in the mood of this emotion of this Saba. And then the next part, I don't have it quite right. You know, a lot of vocalists are better than me. Yeah. So I'm doing, yeah. Two totally different things. One I feel in my tailbone. The second one. Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't do what I wanted on the string there, but it sounded okay, right? But what I want to do on the violin, so let me isolate that for you, is played a little out of tune there. So my point here is that you can't just think about this as one sequence of notes. You have to think about it as concrete melody words that you're learning in your ear and in your muscles. And the ear has to match the muscles. That's the essence of musical practice, of the physical practice of making music, is you train your ear and you train your muscles. And the only way to make that work is to chunk melodies, right? It's not going to work unless you, and every practicing musician has told you this if you're a practicing musician, right? You have to take the melody into small chunks, repeat it. This is wisdom from the ages. Probably people knew this thousands of years ago, because melody is chunked, okay? It's just a fact. Music theory hasn't caught up to these facts, but musicians around the world know it, okay? And we know it because we have to know it to practice it. We have to know it to practice it. Do you get it? Yeah. You think this is the first time I'm doing that for you? That exact sequence? Would I be confident enough to deliver that to a YouTube video if I'm just doing it for the first time? Now I can vary it. I can add emotional color. Yeah. I changed the speed a little bit there, right? All of this is the result of the fact that I'm chunking the melody in my ear and in my muscles, and one is matching the other, okay? It requires memory, oral memory and muscle memory. Yanil. Let's go back to repeating. Yanil. 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 By now, in this lesson, you should start to recognize that as a repeated melody, pardon me, as a repeated melody that's coming back, right? You're starting to hear it and learn it as its own chunk. Yanil, yanil. This is a super common opening melody for Jins Saba, whether it's Egyptian Saba, Syrian Saba, Iraqi Saba, whatever Saba. You're going to hear a lot of this. Yanil, yanil. And even though the Syrian Saba, The Egyptian Saba, the Iraqi Saba, that second scale degree, 1, 2, is tuned differently for each one. I'm not going to try to demonstrate that for you right now because I want to stay in my mood wherever I am at right now. But it's tuned differently, but the melodies are the same, right? It's for that reason that I say intonation is a red herring in music theory. Intonation is a red herring. If you're trying to copy my intonation exactly, you are looking in the wrong place. You need to learn my melodies. The intonation will follow, and it can vary, but it's the melody that carries the musical information. It's the melody that's the whole picture, this whole melody. That's where the mood of Saba is, not in this note, and then this note, and then this note, and then this note, right? That's not the mood of Saba. Maybe I tune it, or whatever that, right? If I'm obsessed with what's the right tuning of this note, I'm not going to get it, right? This is why in all the lessons that I give, I say, follow the melodic rhythm. Follow the pace of the melody. Make sure you start at the beginning, where I'm starting the first note, and ending on the note I'm ending on. And don't worry about the details. Just worry about the pacing and the feeling and the melodic content, which you're going to start to remember as its own chunk, as its own little friend. This is now your friend. If you want to get in the mood of Saba, just start there. Right, you can do whatever you want afterwards. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not trying to limit you. But this friend that I'm giving you, this identity of Saba, is something that you can use. It's a gift to you, right? Accept it as a gift rather than as a limitation or as a set of rules, right? All of the melodies I'm giving you are my gifts to you. They're not perfect. I'm not the best Arab musician in the world. I'm not the only Arab musician in the world. The more people you listen to, the better. But I'm giving you something in melody, not in intonation. So let's go back to repeating. Yanin, yanin, Oh, I almost did it there. I don't know how you're going to do that on the oud or the qanun, but you can try. Yanin, yanin, lin, lin, leni, leni. Okay, I did a little nahawand on the same tonic as the Saba. Instead of 1, 2, 3, I did 1, 2, 3. Hear the difference in the two? That's the nahawand. I shouldn't be doing that in this Jins lesson, but I'm already starting to explore for you the fact that these Jins boundaries that I'm placing here is a very useful and helpful pedagogical fiction, right? The actual definition of the boundary between Jins and Maqam is much fuzzier. It's much more fluid, right? For me to isolate Jins Saba by itself for you is an exercise. It's a good exercise for you as well. But when you then expand out to the whole Maqam, other things are going to come into play. So the boundary between this lesson and the lesson in Maqam Saba is not clear cut. And that's part of this lesson. So that's enough of initial melodies. Let's hear some actual song melodies. This one is one I'm just learning, so I'm not really good at it yet. يا مسعدي يا صبحي يا طلعة الفجر يا لا لا لا. I don't know the rest of the words. This is a wonderful Aleppan qad in Saba. يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام ولا ليل. Let's try that phrase together. يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام ولا ليل. And that might be wrong. ولا ليل, but I'm still capturing the mood of Saba, or I hope so. يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام. Try that on your instrument too. And you can see how easily we can get back to the improvisational melodies. Yeah, lean. So let's do another one. Let's stay in Syria for the moment. Most famous Syrian qad in Saba. سكابة يا دموع العين سكابة تعي وحدي وما تجيبي خرابة. No. See, I screwed up the words. ما تجيبي حدابة وإن جيتي وجبتي معاكي حدابة لحد الدار وما اجعلها خرابة. So one point about this song is we don't need Maqam Saba as a whole Maqam, right? This song just stays in those 4 notes, the whole song over and over again, right? So Saba has this intensive quality, focusing on these intervals. Let's talk about scale degree for a minute here. 1, repeat with me. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you see that 3 is an important point. Our opening melody that we were learning, just to review. Ya Lil, Ya Lil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3. Sing that with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Good interval practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3. So you can hear 1 and 3. Try to use your pitch memory here. 1 is our tonic throughout. Yeah, this is now the 3rd scale degree. And the tension, the drama of Saba is between 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Sing that. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. These numbers I'm using are not for the purpose of abstraction. They're for the purpose of helping you position yourself in the maqam. But then each one, you can give its own feeling. 4 always has a particular feeling in Saba. 4. Sing that. 4. And then 4 resolves to 3. 3. 3. So you can really drill down. And what does 2 feel like? Can you sing it without me singing it? Is it enough in your pitch memory to sing 2? And feel it. How does it feel Take a moment. Sing it to yourself. What's 2? Did your pitch memory of the Jins help you get to that note and maintain the feeling of that note? The tension of 2, wanting to resolve either down to 1, or 2, wanting to go melodically up to 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I cheated. I brought you the Nahawan again. 7, 1, 7, 1. 7 is the note underneath the tonic, the leading tone. 6, 7, 1. This is part of Jins Saba. 6, 7, 1. Ya lili, ya lili, ya lili, ya lili. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Sing with me. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here's another example, another great song example. Staying in Syria. أهوى قمرا سهامه عينه يا ليل أهوى قمر سهامه عينه يا ليل باللحظ يصيب يا ليل قلب العشاق بلا سبب. Here, 1, 4, a lot of drama there, right? One more point about this beautiful muwashah, Ahwa Qamarun, which is the first item in the Saba playlist that I should have linked below. It's in the Samai rhythm. Dum, tek, dum, tek. I'll let you figure that out when you listen to the song. So the other part of the song is أقسمت إليك بالذي سواه يا ليل يا ليل. What do we have there? Again, I'm playing with the boundary between the Jins and the Maqam. We have a little bit of Ajam on 3. Or maybe it's Jiharka. Ya Nini, Ya Nini. Back to Saba. Ajam on 3, 2, 1. So listen for that in the Muwashah. The other point to make about it is that it brings in another side of Saba, which is the change of the 4th scale degree. So sing with me. 3, 4, 3. 3, 4, 3. And then 3, 4, 3. 3, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you recognize that, Jins? If you're totally new to this series, then totally forgivable if you don't. Go back and start watching the series from the beginning. If you've watched some of the series before, can you guess what this is? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just by ear, not by using your instrument. 1, 2, 3, 4. The different 4 is Jins Bayati. Okay? So Saba and Bayati move very closely between each other. Let's do a few melodies on that. I'm actually going to start with, again, another song example. المغنى حياة الروح يسمها العليل تشفي. This is from Kulthum's غني لي شوية. Now, is it Saba or is it Bayati? We don't know. Until we get to Il Maghna. But I could sing Il Maghna Hayat Ruh, as Kulthum does sometimes. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you hear the Saba and the Bayati are a pair there. This is when it's in a secondary context in Maqam Rast or Maqam Suznak. So let's go back and sing some more phrases, playing with this ambiguity of the fourth scale degree, or the change in the fourth scale degree. Ya nini, ya nin. Ya nini, ya nin. Ya nin. Our favorite melody in Saba. Ya nin, ya nin, ya nin, ya nin, ya nin. To Bayati, right? Ya nin, ya nin. Back to Saba. Ya nin, ya nin, ya nin, ya nin. So that is using the Bayati as a contrast to Saba. Now, if I'm in Maqam Bayati, right, I'm feeling Bayati now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can start in this Maqam by giving you a hint of Saba, like this. So a very common opening melody of Bayati that you hear if you go to the lesson in Maqam Bayati or the Jins Bayati lesson is to leave out the fourth scale degree at the beginning, even though it's the Ghammaz. Yaleeni, yaleen. Very popular opening melody in Bayati. Yaleeni, yaleen. Then I can do this. Yaleen, 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 yaleen. See how I'm preserving the feeling of Jins Bayati, of Maqam Bayati, but we slipped in this little Saba. I'm in the mood for Egypt. البدر ساكن فوق وانا اللي ساكن تحت بصيت لي فوق بالشوم قلبي وانجرحت البدر ساكن فوق وانا اللي ساكن تحت بصيت لي فوق بالشوم قلبي وانجرحت يا الله يلي فوق. Okay, so now we start to get into the Maqam, right? I took myself out of the Jins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You feel that 6? Sing with me. 1, 6. 1, 6. So the feeling on 6 is an ajam, a major feeling. And the drama of Maqam Saba, which we're going to get to in a minute in the next lesson, because I'm about to finish this one, is between Ajam 6 and Saba on 1. This interplay, this drama between Ya Nini, repeat, Ya Nini, Ya Nin, Ya Nin. So we have Ajam, Ajam, Saba, Saba. And that's why I use the Jins. I lean very heavily on this way of thinking in terms of Jins, because you can really feel them. The Jinses have a reality. It's just that the boundaries are not very clear. But here, it's a very clear boundary. We have one mood, Ajam, Jins Saba, Shairan. You can check out that lesson. And in fact, I use this song. شبكة بالستاير ومزينة نباية عجم وفصفة وهاير Saba. Back to the Saba, right? You hear that contrast between Ajam on this note and Saba on this note. So that is why we, right? That's why we separate into jins, because you can tell each one is a separate thing, but they go between each other so quickly and back and forth that you can't really separate them when you think about maqam. It's that drama between them. And that is what we're going to get to in the very next lesson. Oh, I forgot to do something. I wanted to play you guys Saba on a drone to get you in the mood. Okay, so let's stay in this mood for a minute longer. Pretty good. So repeat after me. Yanin, 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 Back to the Nahawan. I can't seem to help myself today with that little modulation. So huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. You guys are totally amazing. This lesson is brought to you by my Patreon supporters, okay? Those of you who are on my Patreon, contributing monthly, are making it possible for me to continue. Possible financially, but also emotionally, psychologically. But you're also helping everyone else out there who can't afford these lessons, right? I want to give this stuff away for free, and I want people who can't afford it to be able to take it for free. But if you can afford something, if you could afford lessons with me, or maybe you can't afford a one-on-one lesson with me, but you could afford to spend something on lessons, then go to my Patreon, because there's also additional free lessons, additional free practice in different keys. Not D. We'll do something in G, in Saba on G. Because the Maqam lesson is going to be in Saba on A. So I'll do G for the Patreon. So check out the Patreon link in the description below. And please, if you are enjoying these lessons and have the ability to support, please do that. Please like and subscribe. Please share these videos with your friends. Oh, you're still here, huh? Okay. So if you're still here, I'm going to play you what Saba sounds like on the Rababa. Okay. Beautiful instrument. So there is Saba on the Rababa. Very popular jins for Saidi music from Upper Egypt, where the Rababa comes from. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Once again, thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are bringing this lesson. This lesson is brought to you by my Patreon supporters, by my subscribers, by all the people who like everything that you're doing to support these lessons is feeding into the future lessons. I mean that seriously. So thank you all so much.